Okay, what is happening? Jesse here. Today I am going to be checking out a small demo from an indie game that you've probably never heard of, as is par for the course in this series. I will be playing through it and giving thoughts as an indie dev myself. Best case scenario, we find an underrated gem that's going to turn into something great over the next months or years or decades. You know how it is with game devs. And worst case, I give the devs some good feedback and you get to avoid a really bad time. So let's check it out. Never heard of this game before. Went on steamdb.com and just looked for demos with very few reviews that came out this month or last month. When did it come out? Wait, let me see. Supposedly it's a story game where you play as a dancer who is growing up and trying to cope with the voice in her head that comments on everything that she does, is what it says, which I thought sounded really interesting. And the art style had me intrigued right away. Love story games, love like deep artistic projects. Small team it looks like, which is always fun. Let's check it out. Okay. Almost every morning for years, you've repeated the sequence of movements. Your world is about to completely change. Everything that happened before was simply a rehearsal for what is about to happen. You glimpse the many variations. Okay, I love the shading here on everything. There's like a really nice hand-drawn aesthetic. The red lines, like the outlines that you would erase if you were physically drawing, being left here is a really fun touch to just give it a really human feel. In a world full of AI art, I'll take it, you know? There's something immediately satisfying about this frame that I love. This is a very, like, it looks simple, but I know this is a very like high, what's the word? Why am I so slow today? Very high effort art style. There we go. Spread your wings or put down your roots. Let's oh! Oh, that looked awesome. The little like musical flair there was just fantastic.
Say that again?
Again, these lines being included here, left in the frame, just makes it so much cooler. Oh, I love it. Why hesitate? You're ready to fly. You're alone, but you soar above. Nobody can teach you. Page turns. I think having voice lines eventually for this would be just take this to an 11, you know what I mean? Obviously it's a demo, but could be wrong. I'm sure you've tried it or will. A fleeting moment before the inevitable plunge in this life that is about to begin. It's very dramatic. Okay, you've just finished your daily exercise and there's a knock on the bedroom door. 3 weeks. 3 weeks without access to a bar. Fair. The round of hesitant knocks on the wooden door. You hear dragging footsteps moving away. Dude, it's kind of real, like, just how, that whole thing of just being in your head about everything, you know? Is the gameplay just this? You start walking again? Okay, I'm starting to get bored. The rain, which had only threatened until now, begins to pelt down. You huddle beneath your umbrella, determined to find the source of a strange sensation. Another just beautiful frame, by the way. This is an area you've never set in before. It's so far from the theaters and from the main thoroughfares that join the bridges. There's a guy sheltering in a doorway on your right. He's watching you with disturbing insistence. The way he holds himself and his general look left any room for doubt. The fact that he's wearing a leotard makes it unmistakable. He's a dancer. Nah, bro, he just be feeling like rocking that fit. Let's just be bold. Come on. So I can tell you, you'll have to figure it out. Bro, what the hell? It's a very flat image here. If I don't click forward, does it zoom in infinitely? Hang on, I want to test this. It's just slowing down. It's continuously slowing down. It'll eventually stop. Okay, that's a good idea on how to fix that. You go back up the road, unsure what to think of the exchange. It's weird. It comes from this place. Okay. I think one thing that this game would benefit from a ton is just a little bit more effort going into the feeling of the individual messages in the dialogue. Like if you have like the text come in bit by bit, or you add like a little more to the animation when they just pop, when these pop in instead of just kind of like instantly. Some sound effects. if you don't do voice, that would just go a long way to make the game feel less flat, because the art style is so good, and I would really hate to see it be unpopular or like never get to see the light of day just because the gameplay feels a little bit static, you know? I know it's a funny thing to say, like the gameplay in a visual novel, but it does really matter. Like everything, when I say that, like I don't mean like you need to make it like super like juicy to play, because it's mostly about the story. Like you don't need a bunch of explosions or something, right? But anything interactive in any genre needs to feel good. You know what I mean? Magdalena, just Lena. Attempt to justify. Great. It's the end of the shift. Dude, look at this. Look at the use of color here. Green, orange, red, orange, green, yellow. Like there's so much interesting stuff happening in every one of these frames. I love it. Brother, what? With what chemistry? We just met him. Special dance club. Bro, some of the worst dialogue options of all time. I have a weird thought. I think that the story of this game is gonna really appeal to people who have a lot of social anxiety. However, is someone with social anxiety gonna choose the dialogue options that are more confident or more shy? Because my theory is a lot of people that struggle with social anxiety in real life go to video games to get to be confident and to get to like see what it would be like to go through these social interactions just saying the first thing that comes to mind instead of like talking around things, if that makes sense. There's kind of a cool fantasy there. And so like ironically, I'd have to imagine that most people would actually choose the stronger option when you're given two choices. It's a good opportunity to do what you wouldn't do in real life, which ironically will take away like the dialogue that's more relatable. Let me go take like the weaker option and see how it feels, because I've only done it like once or twice so far. I'm worried about you. Okay, be quick. It's late. You haven't got the heart to send her packing, but you're not going to put up with this kind of intrusiveness either. That's actually pretty strong, I guess. Seeing as you seem more interested in doing I don't know what with I don't know who, I picked up the phone and made a few calls. I've got a list for you. You didn't have to. I do have to, morally, for my niece who... I do have to, morally, for my niece who asked me to take care of you. I hope you feel you have to too, and you don't end up like all the other girls who gave up on their dreams at the first hurdle. Thursday, after losing your way 3 times to Tangle Narrow Streets, here you are looking at the outpost. Unlike your last visit, the place seems far more vibrant, almost welcoming. There's a buzz inside as if the place had just opened up after a long summer break. You push the door and find yourself transported to an unexpected world. What another dude, I love it. It's beautiful. By the way, music, I've said it a couple times already, like in specific moments, but the music so far, like just start to finish, has been incredible. Labyrinthine? Pretty soon, mustache small. I just realized that by asking the question the other night, I didn't even get to smoke, bro. Now I'm gonna have good lungs. This is terrible. Grasping what you're expected to do. You start getting ready to dance. Bro, this would actually stress me out. Can you imagine like coming to an audition, even if it's something you're really good at, and them just not saying a word and just kind of like hoping that you take the social cues to know exactly when to go and what to do? Like, bruh, can I get like a, hi, I'm so-and-so, nice to meet you. We are going to be doing this. Here's what you can expect. Like nothing? Nothing? Which one would actually be more strong? I want to take the weak option because I'm testing my theory still to see how it feels, but I don't even know which one's stronger, because saying nothing might just be, it might mean like confidence, or it might mean you're not willing to speak up for yourself. I'm gonna say be surprised. Anything barefoot? It's you! Finally, he gets to actually talk to me, bro. His confidence, and the way he takes time to let you digest the information. Knows the routine perfectly and does everything he can to make things easier for you. Which isn't a simple task. Everything is unusual between the strange rhythm and music coming from the piano. Series of movements which questions every academic certainty that had been etched into your body year after year. Wow! Dude, these animations are sick. Flop and dry. Flop and dry? This is why we need voice lines. I can't be reading for this long straight, man. Lightness of swallow, part of a hawk. Interrupts you, asks you to reposition yourself. You don't understand what's wrong. Her instructions are so strange and counterintuitive. It's hard to understand exactly what she expects of you, but you have no choice but to trust her. Nothing exists but the knot and the root, chemical wedding between you and the night. This is beautiful, dude. Cinema. Then you're ripped from the joining of worlds when claps her hands twice. Music stops immediately. Thank you for trying. That's it. Okay. Not bad. Not bad. There's a lot going for this game. I really hope you guys do just crush it. I feel like overall, all my suggestions were fairly minor. I was kind of worried that people would never choose the other dialogue option. But to be honest, like, since the story is linear and all roads seem like they most likely lead the same way, it doesn't really matter that much. People will experiment, people will do what they do, and by giving them a choice, you know, it's probably not a big deal. I did notice that like 9 times out of 10, the stronger option was the first one and the weaker one was the second. I would almost try randomizing them more, like in everything, just so that the player doesn't like know. I guess they'll probably still know, but you know what I mean. Just a thought. Overall, really good though. Great demo. The art is absolutely fantastic. The music is great. Just needs a little bit more attention, I think, on the interactivity, and then you'll be golden. All right, I think that's all I got for this one. Thanks for hanging out. Subscribe if you're new for more videos like this. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.